people YouTube right here to Malik Aaron. By the time this comes up, you can watch my match that I was going to do after this video, but I decided to do it before because it was going to be very long. So you can watch that because it'll probably be up. So, before I review this classic, I'm going to go through this little bag. Sorry for my cough, man. I'm getting a bit of a cough now. I get sick again. I hate this allergy. It doesn't help I'm wearing this stupid sweatshirt. It's terrible. But anywho, this, I know this is a Target bag, but they mainly use bags from like other places, so yeah. First, The Village. Very controversial movie. This is the movie that sparked M. Night Shyamalan's downfall. Mainly because of its very weak twist and the fact that everyone was so excited for it in the marketing because they were thinking it was going to be a monster movie and it being like a romantic period movie, and everyone just turned on this thing. Yeah, that's The Village. And by the way, so right now, with M. Night Shyamalan movies, the only ones they do not have at the moment are The Visit, Unbreakable, and Lady in the Water. That's it. I have all the others, so hopefully I can get them soon. Next, Hostel Part 2. Spoiler alert, I will be reviewing the first Hostel in my next set of reviews, but before that, I got the sequel because I kind of needed it. This is one of the most disgusting, nasty, brutal, disturbing movies I've ever seen in my life, honestly. Especially one torture scene, because this is just torture porn part 2. That's what it should have been called, torture porn part 2, because that's what it is. And there's like one little torture scene I can't get out of my head. I'll explain it when I get to the review, but I'm afraid if I even mention it, the video will be flagged. So that doesn't happen. Next, Shutter Island. I heard the movie's good, but the ending is just trash. I believe this is the first Martin Scorsese movie I own. I want to get Hugo, and I might get Wolf of Wall Street. Maybe. But maybe The Departed too. I really need to get on top of things. Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio is always good in everything. That's a fact. So, yeah. Can't wait to watch this. Next. Immortals. I mean, this movie looks really good. It looks like kind of like a Renaissance painting. But everyone's just like, it's not historically accurate. Well, 300 wasn't historically accurate, and that still has a lot of love to this day. I'm one of his biggest fans. So, it's far better than Clash of the Titans. And by the way, I'm never reviewing that or Wrath of the Titans, just letting you all know. So I'm reviewing this instead. Oh boy, next, a true abomination in every sense of the word. A movie that destroyed childhoods everywhere. The Cat in the Hat, starring Austin Powers himself, Mike Myers. And this was the second Dr. Seuss live-action movie, and the last Dr. Seuss live-action movie, because Dr. Seuss's widow told the studios, they're just like, you are not making any more live-action movies after this, because this was a complete piece of trash. Also, it's incredibly inappropriate at times, and I'm shocked it got a PG rating, because there's some jokes just straight up. When I review it, I'll explain, but I have no idea how this managed to keep a PG rating. Honestly, though. True trash. And hilariously, it's going to be my first Dr. Seuss movie review, so yeah, that's not good. Next, The Truman Show. A very interesting movie that you don't see anymore. It's very different because you have Jim Carrey as Truman Burbank, and whose life is basically being filmed. Basically, all celebrities these days, non-stop filming. His entire life is a TV show. It explores a lot of themes that a lot of I don't even know. It's very different from an average movie. Next, Snakes on a Plane. I just had to get this because it is the ultimate internet phenomenon. Because, you have Samuel L. Jackson, and he's on a plane fighting snakes. The title says it all right here. It is amazing how popular this got, on the internet, but then box office wise, it didn't do that good. And it's not the first time this has happened. There are many other times, more than I could count. There's Watchmen, Scott Pilgrim, Grindhouse, Sucker Punch, Pacific Rim. What else is there? I'm trying to think of others. I know there's others I'm missing. But yeah, it's in that category, which it's not a great category to be in, honestly. So, yeah. There's that. And finally, probably the most significant movie out of this whole pile, 8 Mile. You got Eminem, who is now back in the spotlight after what he did in a music video roasting Donald Trump. It got huge online. Now he's back in the spotlight. This was the movie that broke a whole bunch of records and whatnot, and it's mainly known for its soundtrack, which people still love to this day. So yeah, I can't wait to review it and watch it. So that's all the stuff I got from the K's this week. So as you see, it's a mix of good, bad, and other things. So yeah, review time. I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna sing the song because it's iconic. It'd be real bad. You know what? Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny and all Looney Tunes. And now you're asking someone who doesn't know, probably asking, how does this type of thing exist? Well, here's some backstory. See, there were commercials in the 90s, revolving around Air Jordans, the popular type of sneaker. And it had Michael Jordan, and it had Looney Tunes in it, because kids love Looney Tunes, and so they can get the Looney Tunes, so that way kids can buy the shoes. So Warner Brothers thought it'd be an amazing idea to actually make a movie that revolves around Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes playing basketball against a bunch of aliens. I'm not making it up. That's honestly the greatest plot of all time. So now I'm going to read you this plot. Be warned, it gets very weird. Jokes fly as the Toon Squad, that's Looney Tunes, takes on the Nerdlucks, those little aliens, who will eventually become the Monstars. So in a hard-court game to decide if the Looney Tunes remain here or become attractions at a far-off galactic off-ramp called Moron Mountain. So this place called Moron Mountain is basically a giant amusement park. When you have all these aliens, on amusement parks. And you got Danny DeVito, who is this big old alien. And he wants new rides, he wants new ideas. And so he sees he has a big old place full of screens, and then on the screens there's Looney Tunes on it. And though he gets a good idea, As his alien friends, his little, and I mean little, alien friends, there's like 5 of them, to go down and find them. And then you find out Looney Tunes are on Earth. Actually, be accurate, under Earth. So under the ground we stand on, Looney Tunes exist. That sounds scientifically accurate, right? Who they have to go down there, and even better, the way they go through it. There's like a big old Warner Brothers thing. It's like right there, and they have to go through that, and then they're in Looney Tunes land. So that's how that works. And so like Bugs and the gang, you all know Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Sylvester the Cat, Coyote and Roadrunner, Tweety, Tasmanian Devil, Marvin the Martian. You should know all this. They're classic. They're iconic. And so, yeah. They meet them. They threaten them. These little aliens threaten Looney Tunes. And Bugs has the great idea of, since they're big and they're small, wants to play basketball, because who doesn't want to play basketball? If the Alien movies, Ridley Scott can have basketballs in them, the Looney Tunes can have basketball. Makes sense to me. So they decide to play a game with them. But then little aliens decide, to do an advantage. And what they do, go back up to the real world. And alright. The Nerdlocks have a monstrous secret weapon. They've stolen the skills of top NBA stars like Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing. I believe that's how you say it. They become monstars. What they do, they turn into like this purple slime, I guess, and then they go in, and then they just suck off the talent of the basketball players, and then and these basketball players, they act like they don't know what they're doing. They act like they don't know how to pass, they don't know how to dribble, they don't know how to shoot, they don't know how to catch a ball. So the whole thing is just bad. They take therapy, they do all this stuff. They even go to like this lady who sees the, one of those fortune teller people. And she actually tells them what's literally happening, but they don't believe it, because who would? I'm gonna plot this ridiculous. Who would believe it? And so, after that, but that's not all, folks. The Toon Squad's secret weapon just happens to be the finest player in this or any other universe. He's out of this world. So it's fun. Michael Jordan. So this was in that weird... Sorry about this cough. It's terrible. Weird era where Michael Jordan stopped playing basketball, decided to play baseball. And he wasn't all that good at it because he's mainly basketball. And so these little kids, these kids are like his, I don't know, are those like his real kids or his fake kids, his movie kids? I think that might have been his movie kids. Who cares? They were watching Looney Tunes, and then like Porky Pig's just like, stop the show. I'm just like, are you, Porky? I don't think you're supposed to break the fourth wall like that. You're gonna confuse these kids. And then when it's Looney Tunes, they just leave. The screen is blank. Little kids just like, hey, where'd they go? I'm just like, exactly. I don't see that happening in my cartoons. Imagine that. Imagine you're just watching a cartoon and then they just say, stop, you have to do something. And then they all leave. And then that's it. Imagine that. I'd be very triggered if that happened. Michael Jordan, with some of his friends, even Bill Murray. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, Bill Murray and all his friends are playing golf, and then like Looney Tunes have a great idea to get Michael Jordan, who's the greatest basketball player of all time. They suck him into his world, so he's surrounded by a bunch of cartoon characters. So they convince him that you need to join us to beat these aliens. And then there's some more slapstick and more hijinks, and he eventually does it. And then we get the most epic basketball game of all time that should have had so many fouls and so many things wrong with it, but it was still epic. Reminded me of in Sonic X, where Sonic and his team had to fight Eggman in a baseball game. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but here it's even more ridiculous. It's Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes against these big old aliens, now all jacked up, called the Monstars, in a game where if Michael Jordan loses, he has to go to Moron Mountain and be their attraction. So that's what happens. In this game, all types of stuff. Oh, I forgot. How could I forget about Lola Bunny? Oh boy, this gets really weird. So this was Lola Bunny's first appearance ever. Going back to Sonic, she's basically what Lola Bunny to Looney Tunes is what Rouge the Bat was to Sonic. The Sonic series. It's sex appeal. Let's be honest. Sex appeal, but why would they make it a rabbit? That's just weird. And of course Bugs falls for her, obviously. Why wouldn't he? It's just weird. I don't know why they did it, but I guess they thought it'd be cool. But yeah, this game has everything. I mean, first, the Monstars are just dominating Looney Tunes. They're beating them up, destroying them. Also reminded me of another like out of control sports event in the Boondocks. You all know the Boondocks, the animated show that has like anime like fight scenes, where you had like obviously Huey and Riley and like their team against like this Chinese team and whatnot, and that thing was violent. It was brutal. There's blood everywhere. People get kicked in the face with that kickball. It was violent, very violent. It's more of the cartoonish violent. At first, Monstars dominated. But then Michael Jordan comes back, and and then the Toon Squad, they come back, and then it's like a typical, how all these sports movies goes. They eventually get back, and then it's like tied, and there's a couple seconds later, Michael Jordan does the most impossible thing ever. He stretches his arm out like he's Mr. Fantastic, and then he just dunks the ball in. He wins. Looney Tunes win. Michael Jordan goes back to Earth. He just starts playing, goes back to playing basketball, and that's how it ends. Oh yeah, and also he has the greatest soundtrack of all time. No one really, everyone talks about it because it has the very catchy song Space Jam. I don't want to sing it because I'm afraid I'm going to botch it real bad. But if you've seen this movie, you know how it goes. And so what do I think of this? It's a classic. Already says classic. And I know it's basically a giant commercial. That's all it is, just a big old commercial. But it's a great commercial. And, seeing like the Looney Tunes, like visually, like they look really good. So like because this was in 1996, so compared to like the older Looney Tunes stuff, it looks a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. and seeing like Michael Jordan in that world, it's not as, because like in today's movies, when you have like a character go into like this big old fake CGI world, it just looks real fake. Remember another one, Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. If you remember that, please give this video a thumbs up. But when they're like in this like, I'm gonna call it Diabetes Land with all these cookies and ice cream and whatnot. It's Diabetes Land. Let's be honest. It just looks so fake. I mean, gosh, this movie looks a lot better. It looks a lot better in it. And then Bill Murray, he's in the game, the basketball game, for some strange reason. Daffy, he's just like, how'd you get here? I'm just like, that's a great question. How did you get here? They don't really go into that much detail, but yeah, it's, the basketball game. You have to see it for yourself. It's probably on YouTube. It's crazy. So, so animation's good. It's consistently entertaining. Michael Jordan is alright. He's not that bad in the movie. I think he does an okay job. Having Bill Murray in there is a plus. And the soundtrack is a solid 100 out of 10. So what do I give this? If I could give Mortal Kombat Annihilation a 10 out of 10, I'm going to do the same here. 10 out of 10 for Space Jam. The third 10 out of 10 on this channel, other than The Dark Knight and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. This is one of my favorite movies to watch. It's consistently entertaining. And yeah, that's what it is. As long as I'm consistently entertained, you get an automatic big old thumbs up from me. So 10 out of 10. I highly recommend it. Watch this. Listen to the soundtrack, the theme song. Do all of that. The Space Jam is a classic. Next review. A movie that's not quite a classic. And it's kind of been forgotten about. And I kind of understand why. And it is Beowulf from Robert Zemeckis. And Beowulf, I don't know how to say it. It's actually quite important because me and my school, we recently read it over in English class from my school. So I wish I could have reviewed it soon. I would have reviewed it sooner, so it could be a bit more up to date. For anyone in my class who was subscribed to this channel, it would have been better if I did my review of it while we're reading it, but oh well. So, make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. I will see you all next time, and I am out of here.